Hello everyone, it is Friday, October the 18th. It is the Feast of St. Luke, writer of both the Gospel and the Acts of the Apostles, and a disciple of St. Paul. Okay, so we break from the regular flow of the readings, for it has its own readings because it's a feast day. So this is from 2 Timothy chapter 4. Do your best to come to me soon, Timothy, for Demas, in love with this present world, has deserted me. So this is a personal kind of detailed part of his letter. Only Luke is with me. Get Mark and bring him with you, for he is useful in my ministry. I have sent Tychicus to Ephesus. Alexander the coppersmith has done me great harm. So he just mentions Luke one time, right? But Luke had a significant role to play in Paul's apostolic journeys and so on. So the point here is that it's not because everyone as far as I'm aware of, from what we read, that everyone has abandoned Paul and therefore only Luke is with him, but he has already sent others abroad and Luke remains with him. So, and when Luke was with him, he was taking in everything. Paul was an encyclopedia. The man had an incredible memory, extraordinary learning capacity, and he was a prodigy. So he was just sucking everything out of Luke, and he was being mentored by him, and he was taking everything he could out of Paul. And so eventually this would come out. And Luke was an educated man. He was a doctor, physician, so he had education. He was able to write. And so Luke would take all this stuff that he learned from Paul, and that he would incorporate that into his own writings of Luke and also of the Acts of the Apostles. He also had to have interviewed our Blessed Mother, because the details he describes in the birth of Jesus could only have come from Mary. Joseph was dead. Nobody else really knew these details the way he conveys them to us. So in other words, he did what we call first source research. He actually went and he interviewed her, he talked with her, had conversations and so on. So he's quite an amazing individual. So blessed to have Paul as his mentor. He obviously was in the company of Mark as well. And we don't know for sure, but he probably met Peter as well. And we are very blessed with his gospel in the Acts of the Apostles, the first history of the church. Okay, to the gospel, Luke 10. From among his disciples, the Lord appointed 70 and sent them out on ahead of him. Thanks be to God, Jesus did, because they probably influenced Luke at some point. Luke was a Gentile, so undoubtedly this scattering of the apostles brought the gospel into Luke's hearing, into his heart, baptized and so on. Go on your way. See, I'm sending you out like lambs in the midst of wolves. Carry no purse, no bag, no sandals. Greet no one on the road, because these greetings could go on for a long, long time in the Eastern societies. He's not saying be rude, be standoffish, but don't get caught in these long sort of customs and rituals and so on. You got a mission to fulfill, and you have to be reliant upon me. That's why he says, carry no purse, no bag, no sandals. The Jesuits used to send somebody out and with nothing. They had to go somewhere and beg. And as far as I'm aware of, nobody died of starvation. So they wanted their priests to be self-reliant. Yes, they had to rely upon others, but they wanted them they wanted them to live the vow of poverty, basically. And so our Lord here is saying, you have to rely upon me. You can't go with a 70-pound backpack, food for 3 days and all this kind of stuff. I'll take care of you. And this is total trust in providence, total trust in my plan. And none of them died of starvation. They all died. 11 of being martyrs, but then no one died of starvation. And they always had clothes on their back and sandals on their feet. So, he took care of them, and he will take care of you and me as well. So, St. Luke, give thanks to God for the gift of his life, and pray that you can be as faithful to the Lord in your way as Luke was to the Lord in his way. God bless you.